Hello, everyone. This is the Crimson Cure, welcoming you to the Crimson Tower, a place where we keep a feminine foot on the neck of the gynocracy, feminism, and black male misandry. So go ahead, pull up a chair, stay a while, and listen.
See, wherever I go, stay ready, stay alert. I'm always prepared for whatever. I see you. There's a seat right here. You can see from all angles. I'm ready. It's time to get down to business. Game time.
Hi, honey. I know you just made it to the library, but love of my life, my hero, my lion, you forgot your A game. So come home, take it, and then you can go and conquer the world, black man. Oh, and one more thing. Would it kill you to just wear some socks? I'm just saying. Love you. And can you bring home some milk?
Oh, man. She's killing me. Okay, I'll go back. I'm gonna get my A game. I'm not putting socks on. I'm good. I'm fly. I'm fresh. I'm gonna stop at 7-Eleven to get some milk.
Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I am, of course, your host, Femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So what are we talking about today? Black women will never submit to black men. They won't. And it's a super simple answer to that. Is because about 80% of black women in America are feminists and gynocrats. Now, that seems like a simple answer, one that we know already. It's like, duh, Crimson Cure, we know the majority of them are gynocrats and they're not going to submit to black men. But the reason why I wanted to say that mainly is because speaking to the women, because there's about 20% of red pill women, right? Not only in this space, but overall. But then there's also a percentage of gynocrats that would be considered purple pill. And these women have gynocratic leanings, but they're not completely all in with the gynocracy. And the reason why this is important to say is because, and I've said it before, the millennial women, the real young women, Generation Z, you don't know your gynocrats babies. If I got some babies listening to me, even if you're in your 20s, you probably don't know that you are a gynocrat. But this is why it's so vital to actually attack the mindset, right? Because black women are not born gynocrats. No more than black men are born incompetent or born criminals or born predisposed to any of these things that they end up falling into as a result of the traps that are going on in the society that are set against them, right? And black women are not born with the thinking of a gynocrat, although most of us are born into a gynocratic environment. Your mother's probably one, more than likely. It's more likely that she is than that she isn't. But what I really want to drive home is the importance of why on the Crimson Cure channel, I speak the way that I speak to the women, because there is that percentage of women who has one foot in and one foot out. And there's a reason why that one foot is out. See, I don't want to concentrate on why the one foot is in, because I know why the one foot is in. And one foot is in because you're born under a gynocratic system. Like I said, your mother and most of the women and a lot of the men in your family, in your life, are likely gynocrats or victims of it and don't realize that they have been victims of this feminism, thus the gynocracy, right? So I know why the foot is in, but what we need to concentrate on is why the other foot is out, because that's the key. That's the key. The key is this. Gynocentrism does not allow women, Black women particularly, to submit to Black men because it has an accompanying value system that makes Black men and boys worthless beyond sex and utility. It's the value system that's actually doing that. Because this has been adopted, has been given to her, and because there has never been any alternative to it, this is normalized. This is just the way it is, like the sun is just in the sky and the sea is just water moving. Like this is just the way it is. This is the natural order of things. And many women, especially younger ones, can't even conceive of anything outside of that because this is normalized. This is why Black women that don't subscribe are chastened and chastised by the so-called sisterhood for not agreeing or for not being 100% all in with the gynocracy, because it's almost like saying the earth is flat. It's almost like saying that the sun revolves around the earth instead of the earth revolve around the sun. It's like, this is accepted fact, so how can you go against accepted fact? When the reality is, this gynocentric way of thinking is so incredibly backwards that it does not even contain common sense anymore. There's nothing even common sense about any of it, right? Which it has gotten to that point where there is very little, if any, common sense or truth within the structure of the gynocracy. And this is why a lot of the younger women have one foot out, because they can't, what logic women actually have, and we do have logic and reasoning, we can't even apply it to that because it starts not making sense. And it starts not making sense to our biology as women. And not only that, we're sitting in the failures of feminism. Women now, and boys and men, have been sitting in it for a very long time, but women are just now figuring out, and women are late to that party because even if she's not a gynocrat, she's receiving the privileges of a gynocrat, right? Because she's a woman in a gynocratic system. So she's going to receive some of the privileges of that. But younger women are starting to wake up to it and get a little hip to it, because despite the privileges of it, so-called, it doesn't make any sense. And it's starting to go against her biology earlier and earlier. She's seeing the failure of her mother. She's seeing the failures of her aunts, and even sometimes some of her friends. Like, yeah, okay, some of this stuff is fun, but at the end of the day, are we happy? Are we having fun yet? Because I don't know if I'm having fun, because I kind of like this guy and I kind of like how our relationship goes, but it's going against what I was taught, what I was supposed to do in a relationship with a Black man. I was supposed to dominate in a relationship with a Black man. I was supposed to be a complete hyena in this relationship and control all the dynamics, dictate to him what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And be whatever I wanted to be, whether I wanted to be sweet or abusive or obtuse or disobedient or whatever I wanted to be. This is what I'm going to be in this relationship, and he just has to take it. And it's almost like, I kind of don't want to do that. So how do I get away from doing that without being canceled from the sisterhood? Well, you're going to be canceled from the sisterhood. That's number one, right? So this is really why Black women cannot submit to Black men, because not only is she part of the gynocracy, but we have to understand why that works. And it's due to the value system that is inherent within an ideal like the gynocracy. Because since slavery, Black women have been given position over Black men. This is why she can accept the patriarchy of every other man but Black men. She can accept it because I've been over you for so many generations. Why would I be under you now? And all of this other stuff about why is all cap to cover for, listen, my value system is backwards and it's not going to allow me to respect you no matter what you do. So I got to make up excuses that sound reasonable. Black men don't build anything. Black men are poor. Black women have more education. Black women have more money. We don't want to build up a man. Why are these men so broke? Why are these men always going to jail? Why these men always ain't got nothing? So all of that are the excuses that seem reasonable to a gynocrat to say, this is why I can't submit, instead of getting down to the root. See, all of that stuff is smoke screen, it's cap, it's smoke and mirrors. The root of it is that a gynocrat's value system has been given to her and is born of palm-colored survivalism, not supremacy. We don't say supremacy. Palm-colored survivalism. That's where it comes from. That's why it devalues Black men so much. That's why it allows for the open, blatant Black male misandry and be proud of it and wear it as a badge of honor, because that means you're being a good gynocrat. That means you're upholding those value systems in a very efficient way, like you're really doing the thing with this value system. It will never allow, as long as the majority of Black women have that mindset, it will never allow. However, a mindset can be broken just like it can be given. This is why the 10 life values is so important. But before we deal with the 10 life values, the bioculturon is what's important, because this gives birth to a value system. Understanding the correlation between biology, culture, and environment actually gives rise to whatever value system that naturally comes about, depending on what you're doing with this bioculturon. So one was set by palm-colored survivalists that didn't value us, and thus when we picked up the value system that came with it, we were destroyed by that, because the entire system from the get-go was designed for our destruction in the first place. So everything that births from it is designed for that purpose, or it achieves that purpose, right? So if we can understand the transformative effect of a trifecta, the biology, culture, and environment together to create bioculturon, then we can understand how a value system comes about. That is how we end up creating our own value system to live by, that says different than the gynocratic value system that says Black men and Black boys are worthless beyond the sex you can get from the men and the utility that you can get from both. This is why talking about a value system is critical. It's critical because this is where the change must happen. And this is where the change is the most possible, to change the mind. Because there are a lot of Black women with that 1 foot out that do not subscribe completely to gynocentrism because there's something wrong with it. And she may not have the terminology or the articulation to say what's wrong with it, or why she feels that this isn't completely something that I want to be really living my life by. Seems a little forced. You know, I'm just kind of going along because I'm a woman and we go along with stuff and we're social and other women are doing this, and, you know, why not? But at the same time, this doesn't feel very good to me. I'm not really having a good time of this in my life. I'm real stressed out. You know, I'm trying to do everything by myself. I'm trying to juggle everything by myself. And everybody's telling me that this is what I should be doing. But on the inside, I don't really feel like this is what I should be doing. I kind of want my man to do it. And why is this such a bad thing for me? if I want my man to take care of certain aspects of things, isn't that what men do? So now the questions are now being asked. A lot of younger women are now asking a question. Even older women are waking up and saying, wait a minute, my life didn't go good. I embodied a value system that I was told was going to bring me to the promised land, and I am not in the promised land. I am in a pit of hell. And I'm trying to figure out how I got there. What is going on with me? And what's going on in my life? But see, I'm pointing to the younger ones because they're waking up sooner. See, they're not waiting till they get my age to wake up. They're doing this in their 20s. The alarm bells are starting to go off. And this is why I'm driving the point home about the 10 life values, about the Valuable Woman series, and letting young women know that their value as women is beyond sexual. Because if ladies think that their only value is sexual, they're going to go towards it. And thus they're going to be the broken vessels that nobody wants, that everybody talks about and says are strags and these low quality, low level women. So this is why, again, talking about the value system and stressing that and bringing that home is something that is critical in this space. There are a lot of women in this space that are in the clouds. They will never come down out of the clouds, but they are listening and they're actually taking it in. They're taking it in and applying it in their lives and saying, I think I need to make some changes. And ladies, we got to start speaking out. Stop being scared of the gynocracy. Stop being scared of the sisterhood. Stop being scared to be who you really are as a woman and who you want to be and being who you want to be in your relationship, and stop looking for the approval of gynocrats or being scared of their critique about how you're behaving in your relationship. Because I bet you anything, most of them that's got a lot of something to say ain't got no man, or the relationship that they in, they wish they wasn't in it. It's completely dysfunctional. It's completely chaotic, and they're not happy in it either. They running it, but they not happy. Okay? So this is why Black women won't submit to Black men. It doesn't have anything to do with money. It doesn't have anything to do with status. It doesn't have anything to do with education. It doesn't have anything to do with whether or not he's a Pookie or a Ray Ray or educated or this or that. It doesn't have anything to do with selected, non-selected. It has nothing to do with that. A gynocrat doesn't submit because her value system does not allow it. Because that system hails from palm-colored survivalism that has never valued Black men beyond sex and utility. You were valued for that only on the plantation. And when you could not provide that in one way, shape, form, or another, you were cast out or killed. This is the same value system, just repackaged a little bit. That's it. That's why she won't submit. Doesn't have anything to do with, nothing else. When we start talking about other factors, that's for women who are not gynocrats, who actually find it in them to submit to me anyway. Who aren't gynocrats submit to leadership, system, order, and structure. It still don't have nothing to do with your money and this and that. I mean, money helps things, I guess. But some of the richest men don't have good leadership and thus can't really keep successful relationships going. Because even when you get a good woman that's not a gynocrat, she's still a woman and she still has feminine need. She needs the 4 P's. And if a man isn't going to give it, she don't find no reason to stay or no reason to be loyal to it. Because these are the foundations of what? The essence of male nature, which is thus in turn the essence of a man's leadership and his system, order, and structure. This is what women are looking for. All women, especially good women. Gynocrats want a twisted version of this. Real women don't. We want the real version of that. And we're willing and able because we have a value system that says we can be in a relationship that is a leadership where the man is the leader. We're not looking for 50-50 partnerships. We're not looking for followerships where the woman is in the lead. And we're certainly not looking for opponentships where we're enemies, but we're in the house together, or we enemies, but we interacting with each other just to get some mutual gain, and then we can't stand each other. Real women who are not gynocrats are looking for a leadership position where the man is in the lead and we can support. That's what real women are looking for. So I just wanted to come to you guys and share this with you. The true reason why there's no submission from Black women to Black men. It's about the value system. So I'm hoping that people understand how critical the value system becomes especially when we start talking about changing the perception and the perspective of Black women. And it can be done. If it can be given, it can be taken away. If something can be done, then it can be changed. This is not a permanent set in stone thing because these things change over time anyway. 100 years from now, the value system will be different. What it becomes depends on who set it. Who set the bioculturon that gives birth to a value system? This is the part that we have to get and stop trying to work from the top down and work from the bottom up. If you want to get rid of weeds, you can't just cut the top. You got to uproot them. Point blank, period. Or else they just keep growing. All right. So sound off in the comment section for me. Do you think that this is the true reason, the root reason why Black women who are gynocrats will never submit to Black men? Or do you think it's other things? Sound off in the comment section for me. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I am your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.